2025 is right around the corner and I need to get my planner set up. So come along today as I start on my planning process for what I want to put in my 2025 planner. Well, hi everyone, this is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And the one way that I live a more simplified life is by keeping all of my planners and my notebooks in OneNote. So today I want to go through and I want to show you a little bit about my planning process, about how I want to set up my 2025 planner. So if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Remember, subscriptions are free, doesn't cost you anything. And with all that out of the way, let's get started today. As you can see here on my screen, I have lots and lots and lots of little notebooks. This is a way that I go about planning what I want to put in each of the sections of my notebook. I've kind of done a review. I've gone through and looked at all of the pages in my 2024 planner, and I've actually gone back and looked at some of my older planners to see if there was something that I liked in some of the older planners that I want to bring forward into 2025. So this is what I've come up with so far. I have a list here of all of my sections that I think that I want to include in my 2025 planner. As you can see, comparing it to the sections across the top here that I am currently using, I have a year-long section. I like that. I want to keep it. I have a goals section. I like that. I want to keep it. The other thing that I really like is having this basic month. So I'm going to add that in here. Basic month. And what that is it's basically a template for what I like to have in my months. All of the pages are already linked to the daily pages. And so it works really great. So when I go to set up a new month, all I have to do is copy that basic month and all of my pages are linked and ready to go. Okay. If you're interested in how I've done that, there's a video on that. I'll link it down below for you. Today's really not about actually creating the pages. Today's about the thinking process that goes into what I want to include in my planner. Okay. This weekly here was something that I downloaded last year thinking that I might use it, but I didn't touch it at all. So I'm going to leave that out for this year. Goals I want to include, projects I definitely want to include, because remember, I follow the GTD practice, and in GTD, anything that requires more than two action items, that then becomes a project. So I do lots and lots of projects. Okay. Then I start with my months, January, February, March. And if you look at this drop down arrow, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Then this year I created a Halloween planner, and I think that was kind of cool. I'm going to add that Halloween planner back in there. And I'm also going to add my Christmas planner back in there. I usually put that in December, but I think I might break it out because I want to be able to move it back and forth. Okay? All right, so let's look again at all those other sections, and then I have research and notes. The other thing that I was thinking about adding this year is maybe some page templates that I like, that I've created for other things, and some of my GTD stuff. Okay? So the other thing that I thought about is all the links that I want to create on my, on my strip that goes across the top. Well, let me show you. If you're new here, let me show you what one of my current pages looks like. Scroll down here. All right, there we go. Okay, so you can see here, this is kind of what one of my basic pages looks like now. This is for a weekly layout, and you see that I have all of these pages down here. Those are the links to my daily pages. Okay, so you can see that they all come up as links. And then across the top here, I have another set of links or tabs that goes across the top that takes me to my inbox page and my monthly page, my health and habits page, a page for my home, the projects that I'm working on for the home, my meal planning page, my goals, my crystal clear life information, my Google Calendar, so I can link and go directly out to my Google Calendar, what books I'm reading, any budget stuff that I might have, what zone cleaning list I'm in, restocking of projects, that kind of thing. Then monthly tasks that I do every month, and then I get into my weeks. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if needed, there is a spot for week 6. Okay, so when I talk about adding links, this is where I'm talking about adding those various links. Okay, all right, so back up here. I know there's a lot of information on this page, and I apologize. Links for my dashboard, or those tabs across the top. Definitely need a link to my Google Calendar. That is going to stay there. Definitely want to link to my book journal challenges, because I'm somebody that tries to read every day, and I read lots and lots of books. I usually have 2 or 3 going at one time. And so I want to be able to link to that book journal. My medical notebook, I don't really have a link on there to it, and I was wondering if that's something that I might need to put in there. Not that I'm having any, major medical issues or anything. I'm just trying to make my dashboard or my links pretty comprehensive, okay? Also, vehicle notes. We have, there's 3 drivers in this family, so there are different things that need to happen on different vehicles at different times, emissions and tires and, oil changes and all that kind of stuff. It might just be easier if I put a link to that right there on my page. Okay, and then also pet medical notes. For those of you who may not know, I have 5 cats, and just keeping track of their medical issues when they got their shots, all that kind of stuff might just be nice to have a link. So those are things that I'm thinking about adding to that black links menu bar across the top. Okay, all right. Now, as I look at each section that I want to create here, I started making a list of things that might go in that section. So let's look at a couple of those. My year-long section, I don't need my 2024 year-long calendar, but I do need the 2025 one that I've been doing some year-long planning in already. I usually download that the last quarter of the year, so that if I get any of those, save the date kind of things, or, I start planning trips or something, I have that whole calendar in front of me. Okay. I also keep a perpetual birthday list for my family and friends. So I want to make sure that that is in there so that I know who to send birthday cards and birthday wishes and all that kind of stuff. I am still somebody who time blocks. And I have whole videos on how I time block certain periods of the day. I work on certain things. Now, I will tell you that my husband is getting ready to retire. And so some of these things are going to need a little adjustment or tweaking as we move into 2025, because I have my exercise partner back, which I'm so happy about. And so I may need to tweak some of my time blocks, to match his schedule as well. Okay. I also want to keep my master garden list, and this is really important as he does retire and he starts to work on some of those gardening projects with me. For example, right now he is out planting some daffodils in the bird garden while I'm in here filming this video. So he's going to need to have access to that master garden list as well. Okay? All right. Then my meal planning list, my master meals, and my grocery list, that needs to come forward as well. All right, moving on to goals. My life compass, I'm a Moxie life compass girl. I really like that. I like the questions that they ask. It gets you thinking about each of the particular areas in your life that you want to focus on. Yes, I do have videos on that and just about everything else that you're going to see here. So I will try to link those videos for you in the description below. But if I miss something, please just send me a comment or a question and I'll get that out to you. Okay. I do want to include all of my goals, and I break those goals down into quarters. And then as the month comes along, I go to that quarterly, grab those goals for that quarter, and then take them to my monthly section. Okay. All right. So I am thinking about adding a home section this year for cleaning schedules. And then many years ago, I did a when did I last yearly kind of overview of things like, when did I get the oil changed in the car? When did I, clean the carpet and that kind of thing? And I am noticing that as my husband is retired, he is helping me with a lot of those things. And for example, I came home the other day and he was cleaning the carpet because one of the cats had made a mess and he wanted to get that cleaned up. So I want to be able to track all of those things, and I like that when did I yearly. So that's going to need to come. That's going to need to come up. So you know what? I'm actually going to highlight that. So, well, not in black. That's not going to work. I'm going to highlight that so I can see it. And that's something that I want to take care of. Let me also go over here and talk about, I want to remember to do this. My time blocks might have to be tweaked. So I'm going to mention that or highlight that. All right. And down here, let's go back to this side. In my projects, I like to keep my master list of all the projects that I have to do. I like to keep links to my quilt notebook because those are some creative projects that I do. So I think those are good things to do. And then I also have a project template that I want to make sure is in this section. Again, so that if my husband is looking for something or needs to create a project himself, he'll know where to go for that project template, okay? It's almost like I'm an employer and I have a new employee coming on who wants to have access to some of the things that I've been using, which I think is great. All right, moving over into the months. I still keep my dashboard. I still keep my index. I still keep my meal planning page, my habit tracker. But my habit tracker is going to need to be adjusted just a little bit because I got a new Garmin watch and it's tracking some things that I was not able to track before. So I want to update my habit tracker so that I have that information. Okay. All right. And I do apologize if you can hear Emma snoring over here. She is sound asleep, so I apologize. Then I have my weeks, like you saw down below, and my daily page. My most current love of a daily page is my Franklin Planner page, so I probably will be using that at least to start the year off. Let's see, I don't want that under weeks. I want that under daily. So there we go. So my daily Franklin page, okay? And let's highlight that in pink as well. These are things that I'm going to need to take a look at, okay? Then under research and notes, I always keep a lined notes page there so that if I just need to take notes on something quickly, I can open it and there's a notes page that I can use. I also have a personal development notes template that I love, that if I have something new that I need to research, there's a place to store links, to ask questions, to research, to write notes about what I'm learning, all of that kind of thing. So that's going to stay. I like those. Okay. And then down here, I have a GTD section. I did not put a GTD section in this year's notebook, but I have done one in the past, and I really liked having everything right there at my fingertips. So I think I'm going to bring that back. So I'm going to highlight this whole section here, and this is going to be something that I'm going to update for 2025. That includes my brain dump triggers. I have lists and lists of things if I'm doing a really, really big brain dump that I can just sit and think about. I think that's really great. Speaking of brain dumps, as the seasons change, I have done a seasonal brain dump video where I actually walk you through a lot of those triggers and give you time to think and write things down. It's really very handy. I actually used it again myself going from summer into fall and winter this year. So that's pretty cool. Again, I'll try to leave that linked for you. My areas of focus, those are your areas of personal responsibility, your jobs, your things that you might be responsible for, volunteer work, parent, spouse, things that you do at work, church member, community organization member, that kind of thing, okay? And I want to update that for 2025 because, again, as I move into the next phase of life, this retirement phase, and now we're both retired, things are going to be changing. We're going to be getting involved in different things and dropping a few other things, okay? So my someday maybe list, those things that I dream about, is a list that's important, and I want to bring that forward into 2025. All right. Now, page templates, you know me, I am always creating page templates and things that could go on pages to make them more functional for me. One of those is the icons that I use. Those icons for here, let me see if I can show them to you quickly, are the ones that I do for household stuff. These little icons, so I can just go in here and take my draw tool and highlight something to say that it's been done, okay? I just think they're cute and, you know, adds a little interest to the page, all right? So I want to bring those forward. I do use those just about every weekly page. And I have some others, you know, for weather and moods and that kind of thing. They're just fun to keep all together, okay? Then I have some different weekly layouts that I use depending on, you know, again, where I am in life and what's going on. I like to try different layouts. I have a dashboard layout from a couple years ago that I absolutely love, where all of my days of the week are on one side and then all of my GTD things are on the other side, so I know who I'm communicating with, what projects I'm working on, who I'm praying for, you know, all those kinds of things. So I think that's great. Okay. And then some of my most used templates, I want to keep those handy, and notebook designs. Okay. That leads me to a question for you guys. I am perplexed. A couple years ago, I used this black notebook. I loved it. You know, I called it my little black notebook, like my little black dress. I thought it worked great. I liked the spiral down the middle. But I found that, you know, I had to create my page templates into two, you know, different containers to be able to get them to fit completely on the page. So last year I decided to go with the dark green one that you see here, right? And what I did is I moved my spiral to the edge. So it's like a big long ledger kind of thing. I moved my spiral to the edge. I kept the background a nice dark green because my word of the year for 2024 was cultivate. And I thought that green worked really nice with the word of the year, growing and changing and, you know, that kind of thing. I thought that was beautiful and I love that. And then I left space over here for all of my daily links, and I left a place to put the tabs at the top, okay? I really like that. But in 2025, I want to do something a little bit different, at least change the color, if nothing else. And so here are a couple things that I thought about. I love this plum purple color. I thought it was really pretty. I kind of used this for one of my teacher planners this past year that I created, and I thought that was really pretty. Again, I'm looking for something that's kind of would go with most of my stickers. I don't know if this is the one or not. Now, that's not to say that I can't change my background up monthly if I want to. Maybe that's what I'll end up doing this year. I don't know. Then I also designed one that is this nice dark charcoal gray. But then I was thinking about, well, with the black tabs at the top and the gray tabs down the side, would it be a little too boring? I don't know. This is my favorite color at the moment. I love this burgundy color, but I'm not sure if that will go with every single thing that I'm going to be doing as a theme for this year. You know, I keep thinking, well, you know, what if you do bumblebees? Would the bright yellow and the black bumblebee look okay on this color? Or what if I did kites? You know, would pastel kites really look good against this background? I don't know. Then on the side here, I have still the same black color. This was the page that I used a couple of years ago. And I did, you know, again, you can see I've used that color again. It's one of my favorites. There's the green in the, you know, the one with the page down the middle. And I seem to be in a rut. The other thing that I was thinking about was maybe a really pretty navy blue. That might be nice as well. And blue might go with just about everything. I don't know. Anyway, here's my question for you. Which one do you like? Do you like the burgundy? Do you like the charcoal? Do you like the green? Do you like the black? Do you like the, you know, the kind of plum color? Or do you think that, you know, changing it monthly would be a good idea? Or just going back to the little black notebook? You know, just making it still the long view, but just going back to black. Okay? All right. Well, what has happened over the past few years is as I have created my first planner in 2020, I have tweaked and changed and tweaked and changed. And, I'm not really looking for that planner piece that everybody talks about. What I'm really looking for is the most functional thing for me to use in every stage of my life. So as my life changes, I tweak and change those pages to try to get them to be just right. So when you move forward into 2025 with me, you are not going to see big dramatic changes in my planner because it is working for me. If I figure out something that's not working, or if I figure out something that's working better, then you will see that change implemented. For example, this past year, I rediscovered the Franklin Planner daily pages, and I've been using those and loving those. Now, they do take a little bit of work to sit down every night and make sure that I'm doing what I should be doing. And maybe if I'm really, really busy, they're not going to be the best for me. But I have actually found that the busier I am, the more helpful they are because I don't forget things. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, leave me a comment and let me know about what you think about the notebook cover. Let me know about things that you think that maybe I should add to my planner that I might have missed on this list. You can see I have quite an extensive list of new pages to add and other things to think about in 2025. Maybe a Pomodoro tracker. That sounds like an interesting thing, especially for that basement clean out that is going slow but steady. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to share some of my thinking process, how I like to organize things, and put it all out there so that I can think about it all at one time. Okay? I don't know if you guys do any planning like this, or whether you do something like a mind map, or some people just start creating and they modify and change as they go along, and that's perfectly fine. That's pretty much how I did it in 2020 when I was just getting started. Now I know what works, and I want to make sure that I keep those things and think about things that I need to add to my list. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for joining me today as we talked about my 2025 planner. Stay tuned because I will start setting up my 2025 planner in next week's video right after this one. And I would like to know, in 2024, I went very meticulous and I showed you how to set up the planner background, and I showed you how to copy the Calendarpedia calendar from the web into OneNote and how to use it and make it functional. And I showed you how I designed each and every page of my planner. Do you want that kind of detail for 2025, or do you have that from 2024 and you're just ready to get on with more fun things? Leave me a comment. Okay, I would appreciate that. And it helps me determine how I'm going to be filming my videos. I still have to do all that work for myself, but it's a question of whether I film it or not so that you guys can see. Okay? Well, I hope that everybody has a healthy and happy new year. I look forward to seeing you in 2025. We are reaching a new subscriber goal, so I really appreciate everybody who has taken the time to subscribe. I love everybody's comments that they leave me. I love answering them. I love hearing from you. So if there's something you'd like to see in 2025, leave me a comment below so that I can put that on my editorial list of things to do for 2025. Until then, okay, bye.